Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, today we're diving into something really specific, really important. There's this evidence-backed approach, right? And it's proven to cut, get this, 14% of the most dangerous fat in your body.
14%.
Yeah, and here's the catcher. Even if the scale doesn't budge, not 1 pound.
That's the part that usually throws people.
Exactly. So if you're looking for solid, actionable ways to reduce this specific, really hazardous fat, this deep dive is definitely for you. We're basically tossing out the calorie counter for a bit.
Yeah, we have to,
Yep.
because the focus shifts entirely to food quality.
Right. But first, let's define what we're up against. The enemy, as you called it.
Yeah, the enemy is visceral fat, VF. Now, this isn't the fat you can, pinch on your arm or thigh. That's subcutaneous fat. Visceral fat is different.
It's internal.
Deep inside. It wraps itself tightly around your vital organs. Think liver, stomach, intestines. And the danger isn't just its location, it's what it does. VF is highly metabolically active.
Okay, metabolically active, meaning it's not just sitting there. It's like its own rogue organ.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. It's busy churning out these inflammatory substances. They're called cytokines. And it releases them straight into your bloodstream.
So if you've got too much visceral fat, your body is essentially bathing itself in inflammation.
Constantly, like 204/7.
Sure.
It drives this chronic, low-grade inflammation throughout your entire system.
And that's the link, right? Those cytokines. They're tied to all the big words. Heart disease, type 2 diabetes.
Alzheimer's, even certain types of cancer. Chronic inflammation is often the underlying issue. The stakes are, they're huge.
But what really jumped out from the sources, something I wasn't expecting, was the cognitive link, the brain connection.
Yeah, that's fascinating, isn't it? We're seeing that excessive VF actually seems to reduce blood flow to the brain over time.
Reduced blood flow, what does that do?
Well, it can lead to literal, measurable shrinkage in key parts of the brain.
Yeah.
Specifically areas involved in memory formation and emotional regulation.
Wow, shrinkage. So managing visceral fat isn't just about your heart or metabolism, it's about protecting your brain function too, your memory.
Precisely. Mental acuity, emotional balance.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
Gives gut feeling a whole new meaning. Okay, but here's the core issue, the contradiction we really need to hammer home. Visceral fat. It plays by its own rules.
Totally. That's the key insight.
You can lose, say, 10 pounds on the scale, feel great about it, but that dangerous visceral fat around your organs, it might not have changed at all.
Exactly. And conversely, you can implement strategies that significantly shrink your visceral fat, but the number on the scale might barely move.
So the standard advice, just eat less, create a calorie deficit, it's often not enough, not specific enough for this type of fat.
Right. It really makes you ask, okay, if it's not just calories, what is controlling this visceral fat? Let's unpack that.
It feels so counterintuitive, though. We're all taught. Calories in, calories out. Burn more than you eat, you lose fat. All fat, right?
That's the common belief, yeah.
Yeah.
But the body's complex. Why would it burn off the easier to access subcutaneous fat, but hold on to the dangerous internal fat?
Yeah. Why?
Well, it seems to come down to signaling. Stress hormones, inflammation. These things play a huge role with VF. It's sometimes seen by the body as like a last resort energy store, linked more to stress responses than simple energy balance.
Yeah.
There was one client example in the material.
Yeah.
Really powerful and frustrating for them.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about that.
Okay, so this person was super dedicated, really focused on calories in, calories out, CICO, dropped 11 pounds over several months, felt pretty good.
Okay, sounds successful.
On the surface, yes.
Yeah.
But they also wanted to, keep their social life. So maybe a glass or two of wine most nights, some processed snacks here and there. Nothing too crazy, they thought, within their calorie limits.
Right.
Then they got a follow-up DEXA scan. This measures body composition, including visceral fat.
Yeah.
Total shock. Their weight was down 11 pounds, sure, but their visceral fat level, exactly the same, like zero change. None.
Wow. 11 pounds lost. But none of it was the fat that actually posed the health risk. That must have been incredibly disheartening.
Oh, absolutely. It was a major wake-up call. But it proves the point perfectly. The type of fat loss matters. And what controls VF isn't just the quantity of food.
It's the quality.
It's the quality. It's the composition. It's about the biological signals those foods are sending to your body.
Which brings us straight to the solution identified in the research, the optimized Mediterranean diet. And this isn't your standard eat more olive oil advice, is it?
No, not at all. It's much more targeted. It's a very specific, science-backed nutritional strategy. The evidence is really what sells it.
Okay, lay out the study for us.
Right, so researchers compared 3 groups on different diets. Group 1 followed just basic healthy guidelines, lean protein, veggies, fruits. Pretty standard stuff.
What happened with them?
Over the study period, 0 change in scale weight. But interestingly, their visceral fat did drop by 4.2%. So something happened, but not dramatic.
Okay, group 2.
Group 2 did the standard Mediterranean diet. You know, the one we hear about, often olive oil, fish, nuts. Better results here. They lost about 2.7% of their body weight, and their VF dropped by 6%.
6%. Okay, better. But group 3 is the one we're focused on.
Exactly. Group 3 followed the optimized Mediterranean diet. Now, this wasn't just healthy. It was specifically engineered to be super high in certain plant compounds called polyphenols.
And the results?
Blew the others away.
Yeah.
They lost a bit more weight, about 3.9% body weight.
Yeah.
But their visceral fat, it plummeted by a massive 14%.
14%, that's the number. More than double the standard Mediterranean diet group.
More than double, even though the overall weight loss wasn't drastically different between group 2 and 3.
So that tells you something else is going on. It's not just about general healthiness or even moderate weight loss. What was the key difference? What did the optimized version have that the standard one didn't emphasize as much?
This is where it gets really, really interesting. It's the sheer concentration of these polyphenols.
Polyphenols. Okay, tell us more.
They're complex compounds found in plants. Think deep-colored fruits and vegetables, dark berries, green tea, certain nuts. When you consume them in very high amounts, they do more than just act as antioxidants. They act as messengers, signaling molecules.
Signaling molecules. Okay, so they're sending instructions. How does that signal target visceral fat specifically?
It's all about the gut microbiome. When you digest these concentrated polyphenols, they interact powerfully with the bacteria in your gut. This interaction triggers your body to produce very specific compounds. The key ones are hippuric acid and urolithin A.
Hippuric acid and urolithin A. Never heard of them.
Most people haven't, but think of them as like a direct communication line from your healthy gut to your body's energy management system.
So the gut is sending an internal memo, basically. What's the message?
The message, driven by these compounds, essentially tells the body, hey, prioritize burning visceral fat. It's like the gut says, we're getting flooded with top-tier nutrient-dense fuel here. We don't need this risky inflammatory fat stored around the organs anymore. Start breaking it down now.
Wow, so you're using food chemistry to override the body's maybe default tendency to hoard that visceral fat.
Precisely. It shifts the whole thing from just physics, calories in, calories out, to sophisticated biology and chemistry. Targeted signaling.
That changes everything. Okay, knowing that, let's get practical. The implementation playbook. First, you need to create the right environment for these signals to even work. That means elimination. What has to go?
Top of the list, alcohol. For that client we talked about, cutting out the daily wine was non-negotiable.
Why is alcohol so bad for VF?
Several reasons. It increases inflammation, messes with your appetite signals, puts stress on the liver, which is ground zero for VF issues. But the big one, your body sees alcohol as a toxin.
Right.
So it prioritizes getting rid of it above everything else. Metabolism of alcohol comes first. Fat burning, especially VF burning, gets put on hold until the alcohol is cleared.
So a nightly drink basically means you're shutting down your fat-burning window every single evening.
Pretty much, yeah, for several hours. The second big category to slash is hyper-processed foods.
Sugars, packaged stuff.
Exactly. Anything with weird ingredients, emulsifiers, loads of added sugar, the sources are clear. This stuff damages gut health.
Yeah.
And if your gut health is compromised, then the signaling system can't work properly. You won't produce enough hippuric acid and urolithin A.
You got it. The foundation crumbles.
Okay, environment reset. Alcohol out, processed junk out. Now let's focus on the additions. The quality foods that drive that 14% drop. Protein has to be key, right, for metabolism.
Absolutely essential.
Yeah.
Focus on lean sources, white fish, fatty fish like salmon, chicken, turkey. Protein provides the building blocks, protects muscle.
And the target amount in this optimized approach was pretty aggressive, wasn't it? Something like 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of actual body weight. That sounds really high to most people.
It does sound high, yeah. But remember the goal. We're not just losing weight, we're trying to rapidly lose fat while preserving or even building lean muscle mass. That muscle is your metabolic engine.
So the high protein prevents muscle loss during the fat loss phase. Exactly. If you don't get enough protein while cutting calories or changing composition, your body will break down muscle for energy. That slows your metabolism down long term. We need to prevent that.
And did it work for the client? Did they maintain muscle?
Better than maintained. That specific client, while losing 20 pounds of total weight, actually added 3 pounds of lean muscle mass, according to their DXA scans.
Added muscle while losing 20 pounds? That's incredible.
Game changer. It means their metabolism actually got stronger during the process. That's the power of optimizing protein intake.
Okay, protein foundation set. Now for the polyphenol powerhouses, the stars of the show.
Dark berries. Absolutely non-negotiable. Think blackberries, raspberries, wild blueberries if you can get them. They are packed with the compounds that trigger that VF burning signal.
How much are we talking?
The recommendation was to go heavy. Aim for at least 2 cups a day. Have them as a snack. Blend them in a smoothie. Eat them after a meal instead of a sugary dessert.
2 cups. Got it. And the other major polyphenol source involved a strategic caffeine swap, right?
Yes. Green tea. If you're a multi-cup-a-day coffee drinker, the advice was keep your morning cup if you love it, but swap out the afternoon ones for green tea.
Why green tea specifically?
It's loaded with catechins, especially one called EGCG. It's already known to boost metabolism and fat burning a bit.
But the real magic is the combination, isn't it? The catechins plus the natural caffeine in the tea.
Exactly. They work synergistically. Together, they ramp up energy expenditure, increase fat oxidation, that's fat burning, and crucially, research suggests this combo preferentially encourages the breakdown of visceral fat cells.
So it's like a targeted nutritional strike.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, berries, green tea. We also need volume in our meals, right, to feel full. And more polyphenols. What about greens?
Great point. Volume is key for satiety. Use lots of polyphenol-rich greens, spinach, kale, maybe even things like duckweed, which is becoming more available. Pile them into salads, stir-fries, smoothies.
So you get the volume, feel full, and sneak in more beneficial compounds.
Dual purpose.
Yeah.
It helps make the whole approach sustainable because you don't feel deprived, you feel physically full.
Makes sense. And finally, we need to support the command center, the gut, where all this signaling originates.
Can't forget the gut health stack. The protocol included a few key things. Bone broth, rich in collagen, good for the gut lining.
Okay.
Fermented foods, things like kimchi, sauerkraut, kefir. These populate your gut with beneficial bacteria. Probiotics.
And prebiotics too, right? To feed those good bacteria.
Yes, that's where things like chia seeds come in. Chia seeds act as prebiotic fiber. They nourish the good bugs you're adding with the fermented foods.
So fermented foods are the workers, chia seeds are their food supply.
Nice analogy, yeah. You need both to make sure that microbiome is robust and efficient at processing those polyphenols and creating the hippuric acid and urolithin A signals.
Okay, we've covered the foods to add and remove, but the when also matters, right? Meal timing, circadian rhythms.
Absolutely. You want to train your hunger cues to work with you, not against you. Eating randomly leads to chaotic hunger.
So how do you structure it?
2 main anchors. First, finish your last meal 3 to 5 hours before you plan to sleep. For most people, that means eating dinner around 7 p.m., maybe 7:30 p.m.
Why so early?
It gives your body a long overnight fasting window. This allows for deep cellular repair and maximizes fat burning time before your morning meal potentially spikes insulin.
Okay, last meal early. What about the first meal?
Crucial for setting up your whole day. Eat your first meal 1 to 2 hours after waking up and make it count. High protein, nutrient dense.
Why high protein first thing?
It helps regulate blood sugar and appetite hormones right from the start. A good breakfast like that significantly reduces cravings and uncontrolled hunger later in the day. You're setting a stable foundation.
Got it. Now, diet is clearly the main driver here for VF, but exercise plays a supporting role too.
It does. It's not about hours of cardio, though. The recommended approach was strategic. Weight training to build or preserve muscle.
Which we know is key for metabolism.
Right. Plus regular walking for overall activity and some short high-intensity sprints.
Yeah.
Research shows this combo helps target VF and is excellent for preserving muscle during fat loss.
Good synergy. Okay, final piece, managing expectations. This isn't an overnight fix.
Definitely not. We're talking about fundamentally changing body composition and signaling. The sources suggest you need to be patient and consistent. It takes about 90 days, 3 solid months of focused effort to see significant reductions in VF and move into a healthier range.
3 months. Okay, that's realistic, but the feeling of it working might come much sooner. You mentioned the client satiety level.
Oh, absolutely. That was one of the most compelling parts. After just 2 weeks of really nailing the quality, the high protein, the berries, the green tea, cutting the junk, the client reported feeling incredibly full. Like, often too full to finish what was on their plate, even though calories weren't the primary focus.
Their body was getting the signals it needed.
Exactly. It was receiving such intense nutrient density that the sort of primal, constant drive for more calories just quieted down. It was being satisfied on a deeper level.
So if we boil this all down, the core message is unmistakable. When your target is specifically visceral fat, the quality of your food, its ability to send the right biological signals via compounds like polyphenols, is arguably more important than the simple quantity of calories.
It really is. The optimized Mediterranean diet isn't just subtracting things. It's actively using food to signal your body for a specific outcome.
It flips the script from restriction to strategic fueling.
You're not starving yourself thin. You're signaling yourself healthy. It's a profound shift.
It really is. So here's something to think about, a final thought for you, the listener. We know the body can actually add muscle even in a deficit if protein is right. We know specific food compounds like those polyphenols generating hippuric acid and urolithin A can target the most dangerous fat. So, what might happen if you shifted your primary focus away from obsessively tracking every single calorie and instead focused intensely on tracking nutrient density, on feeding your gut the highest quality signals possible? How might that change your whole approach to health and body composition long term?
It's a powerful question to explore, and it starts with those simple swaps. Dark berries instead of chips, green tea instead of soda. These aren't just minor tweaks. They are powerful levers for targeted health results, especially when it comes to visceral fat.